You know, I saw you getting harassed in front of the Capitol for a change and having to have an argument with these people as to where is the actual public sidewalk. And, oh, well, we have to keep walking, but yet we can't walk. So what are we supposed to do? Like, it's off the wall.
Well, why don't we play it so that everybody has an idea of what
I haven't seen it yet. I don't remember I do remember that the discussion was absolutely ridiculous.
It was absurd. Osiris, do you know, I'm sure, I don't think you've met, but do you know who Anthony is?
No, I'm not familiar.
Okay, so Anthony has been a very brave whistleblower about what is going on in Gaza as somebody who was over there to help with the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which we know is bullshit, but has had a lot to report about that. And of course, they've been trying to silence him for coming forward, somebody with an impeccable record, which is disgusting. But anywho.
Here we go.
Capitol grounds, it says you can have a bullhorn and a speaker. It says that you can. But what?
So where are you at right now?
Okay, so then I'll use it on the sidewalk.
Sir, right where you speaking to, where you're at right now, you're in a red zone, all right? That's all we're trying to advise you.
This is not a red zone.
Yeah, that's a yellow zone.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So if you stay there, then you're fine. And you can't be walking back and forth.
They said that we had to continue walking.
Yeah, but
the person over there just said that we had to continue walking. Get your straight.
If you walk there and back, then you're traversing, and that's not allowed.
She just said
we have to continue walking.
We have it recorded.
Yeah, to and from where you're trying to go. You guys can't just walk on Capitol grounds wherever you want.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Not protesting.
I'm not protesting.
Demonstrating, whatever you want to call it. You can't do that.
Now, I have a feeling, I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that they spoke to you in a different tone than they would have spoken to just about anybody else. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, they backed off pretty quick, when the entire time I was there, I stayed there at the Capitol for a good hour and a half, almost 2 hours, and wasn't approached again. They got on their bikes and rode away in their fanny packs and stood by. And, what I feel for them is that, yesterday, I ended my day yesterday with a nice little treat. I treated myself to the committee hearing to nominate the new general counsel to the CIA. I thought that would have been a good one. So treated myself to a little Congress theater. And one of the officers that was there, one of the Capitol Police, because there was another demonstration in this hearing where another person was protesting and hauled out. But at the end, Senator Risch, who's on this committee, who was also the chair of the committee that I got arrested on, who walked by and recognized me, said to the cop there, "Hey, boys, really earned that paycheck today." And I said to Senator Risch, I was like, "Well, that's funny because they're not getting paid right now." And Senator Risch was like, "Are y'all not getting paid?" And the Capitol Police officer was like, "No, sir, we're not getting paid right now." And I was like, "You are a tool bag. You are what is wrong with this country."
You're a U.S. Senator and you don't know if the Capitol Police are being paid during a shutdown. Again, who do we hire to run this country?
Well, they're getting paid. They're all getting paid.
Entitled, privileged people that do not represent the needs of their people and their constituents. We have allowed people in power to become the nepotistic monarchies that we detest. We've allowed it.
We have one more clip to play. I know you know who this guy is, so let's roll it.
And that you stop lying.
Have him removed immediately.
You will stop and cease the war in Gaza.
We will stop nothing.
Well, leave it to Tom Cotton. Let's highlight that, ladies and gentlemen. We will stop nothing.
Yeah, I was sitting to that gentleman's right. We were in there together. I was kind of coaching him through the process, where the C-SPAN camera is, how to position yourself. He did a great job. And in sitting next to him there, I kind of thought to myself, never interrupt an idiot when they're in the middle of making themselves look like an idiot. So I just sat there for the rest of the committee hearing and let Tom Cotton talk. And it's just the humor writes itself.
Yeah.
In terms of the most bloodthirsty federally elected representatives that we have, I would imagine that you would find Cotton to be pretty much near the top. Is that fair to say?
Horrible human being. I do not like him as a senator. I do not like him as there's some senators I know that there's just, they just can't get themselves off of that political ledge, but you can see through it. With him, I've seen through it, and he's just a bad person.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing we'll play this through, and I have thoughts as we discussed with our previous panel regarding the split with MAGA, but let's finish this.
We will stop nothing.
I want them to stop the genocide in Gaza and proceed to stop lying to the American people, because they've been doing it for too long. They've been funding the genocide, Israel.
All right, you stop following. We're taking down the loading dock.
So, Josie, what just happened?
Well, we just had a retired U.S. Army officer just get arrested inside of the Senate intelligence hearing because the U.S. Senate is complicit in the genocide. They are funding this genocide. While this government is shut down, we have our Senate and our Congress still sending billions of dollars to Israel. There was an interruption by this Army officer to call for an end to the genocide, and that the U.S. is complicit in this genocide.
Osiris, I just want to know, from the middle perspective, from the more libertarian perspective, where are you on the shutdown and the political theater of it all?
Well, it is just all theater. It's all games. It's pretty much meaningless, because from the standpoint is they're keeping enough of the government open not to get the public upset at them. So it's just more games. It came out just as we were going to get, I think there are enough votes now to move that measure to, they can't make the executive branch spill the Epstein files, but it looks like they're going to get the vote, 218, I believe. And it's curious how this happened, and they're all doing this WWE performance type of thing. And then you have the influencers dividing it up between a fake right and a fake left. They're all the same. So from my standpoint, it's all a game, and they're playing a big joke on us.
It's not very funny.
No.
I mean, if we're not going to wake up, they're going to keep playing it.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I believe that there is a definitive split happening within MAGA right now. I think it's very real. I think that really just comes down to a simple variable. You're either America first or you are Israel first. I think it's pretty crystal clear that that's what's going on. You both at a time or another supported Trump. Obviously, you've seen how that has changed dramatically, to say the least. In fact, I would go so far as to say if Trump was actually running a legitimate America first administration right now, that he would have a hell of a lot more leeway to go into these major cities and basically pull this dictatorial stunt that he's doing, whether in Chicago or any other city. But because of the fact that he has capitulated to such a obvious and public degree when it comes to Milikowski, real name, Netanyahu, and the state of Israel, that he really has lost his, I wouldn't even say it's totally just his swagger, but his ability to command a movement, I think, is cratering in a lot of ways right now. I would even go so far as to say that whatever movement is being led by Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens right now is bigger than whatever movement Trump is leading at this moment. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. What you're seeing right now is Donald Trump is basically, I know we're early on, but he's still a lame duck. And MAGA doesn't exist without him. J.D. Vance is not MAGA. He might put on the gear or try to rep the symbol. So what you're seeing is a fight right now. It is Israel, but it's also this, even without, take Israel off the table, you would see a fight anyway to see who's going to be the next person to carry over those voices. So you put Israel on top of that, you just have an explosion right now.
Yeah, I agree with Osiris and exactly what you were saying, and that it's theater, but then also the fact that, yeah, MAGA is nothing without Donald Trump, because J.D. Vance, Pete Hegseth, they don't have the swagger. And the thing that Trump brought to it is that he had the swagger and he had the street cred of nobody owns me. he's given that up because it's so clear now that he's owned by Milikowski. He is Milikowski's phone holding bitch boy in the Oval Office.
Chair pulling out, you know.
Chair pulling out.
For you.
Disgusting. It's if I had 10 minutes with Donald Trump to sit down with him, I'd be like, dude, pull it together. Like, don't like just pull it together, man. Like you are looking weak. And I think it's funny that when he was first running, he comes down the golden elevator in Trump Tower, and then the image that will now be burned in everyone's memory in the UN is him going up the elevator and it stops. Like it's like that's a perfect analogy to how his character arc has gone from where it was to where it is now.
Yeah. Osiris, so where does a lost MAGA man go now? Right? Like where do you find yourself in this political system now? It's like you seem kind of homeless. I mean, I've been homeless for a long time.
Yeah, it's simple. America First, as led by Nicholas J. Fuentes, that movement right now is the most authentic, and it is the natural progression of the Donald Trump MAGA. These are people, young, white, Christian males who kind of lead that movement, who were big Trump supporters and still love Trump, even with all the problems, even with all the criticism, still love Trump he woke me up. I'll always be grateful for Trump, no matter how hard I rail against him now. But that's part of the battle. That's why Tucker Carlson, Candace, they're trying to rise up, because a lot of the youth, they're going to Nick Fuentes. I was listening to Nick Fuentes the other day. He talks straight politics. A lot of people don't even know what his show is. My wife was listening to. She's like, "Who's that? That's a smart young man." I was like, "Okay, I'll talk to you about him later." But that's where a lot of people are going.
I would definitely say that Fuentes, I do not trust him, and you and I obviously have discussed this on and off air. I think he has a lot of things right, but I also think there is a lot of, I don't even know if I would even say malicious. He's pretty transparent about his angles of bigotry. I think it's clear that he's a frustrated young man. And again, there's a reason why Fuentes is blown up. This is a very rudderless ship of a nation right now. There is a lot of scared people. There is a level of economic anxiety that has not been, I mean, you thought it was bad during the pandemic. You thought it was bad 15 years ago. This is unsightly how bad this is now, because people don't even have prospects. They don't even know why the hell they should go to college. They don't know what the hell they're going to do. And Fuentes, to his credit, knows exactly how to speak to that crowd. And especially with Kirk no longer with us, I mean, the lane is wide open and he's going to grab it. I think it's very fair to say that a lot of people are going to go to him. And the problem that we have with populist left politics is that there is a limit to how many voices are actually out there, which is why, as I mentioned before in the last panel, I mentioned to you guys now, Anthony, you may have heard about this, but shortly before Charlie's assassination, he made a compilation clip of about 5 or 6 different content creators. It was about Cenk, it was about Midas Touch, it was about a few different guys, and then the person he ended with was me. Now, I'm thinking to myself, this channel, it's got just over 70,000 subscribers. I mean, I know we're not tiny, but we're not that relevant. And the fact that he felt the need to put me there, I think is also a reflection, not that I'm trying to boost Jen and I's ego, it's a reflection of how few actual leaders there are in left populist spaces that are saying what needs to be said about how we're leading ourselves the fuck out of this problem. That, I think, is a huge part of it. And one of the things I've always been pointed to mention is that when it comes to, it's not just people that are in the military, it's working class across the country. There has been a dynamic shift since 2015, 2016. A substantial portion of that working class coalition that backed Bernie that first time he ran, they went to Trump. And they've basically been with him ever since. And there is a denial in this country that that's what happened. They want to pretend that this is all racism and sexism, and that's the reason why you don't have anything. And yet, when a white, Latino, and black man can come together and talk about this and say, it has nothing to fucking do with that shit, I hope that there are people that are listening. Because if you don't have a pot to piss in, no one gives a fuck about your feelings. Nobody. And they shouldn't. I want to be able to have a future. I want to be able to have a retirement. I want to have an environment that I actually can breathe the air of and drink the water in. Those are just simple things in life. And it seems like those are the things that are being taken for granted. And the fact that right now we are looking at a future where we're still attached at the hip with this genocidal fucking nation and we can't get out of it. I believe we will get out of it, but it's going to take this collaboration across the entire political spectrum, that there is one variable and one variable only. You are either bought and paid for by the system or you're not. And if you are in any way capitulating to that bought system, like these scum-sucking motherfuckers that are taking $7,000 a pop to put posts out there, like Savetsky, claiming that that fucking yacht that she was on was the one that Greta Thunberg was on. Again, if that's who you are, to me, you're a traitor of this country. Go fuck yourself, get lost. The rest of us can figure out a way to work together. All right, rant over.
You got me feeling fired up. I'm in Boston tonight. I got on the train early this morning at 3 a.m. and came into Boston. I'm here in the Boston Harbor. I just did a protest in down at the Boston Commons against the Boston Consulting Group. It was great. It was awesome. Cops came trying to shut us down but couldn't. It was awesome. So yeah, you just fired me up more. You know, this is not about our race, our ethnicities, our religion. That is what they want us to believe to divide us. It's not about that. It is those that are bought and paid off, and those of us that still have a soul for this nation and what it should be, not what it's become. And I think our Constitution and the words of what our country stands for is a beautiful thing, that we're created equal and that we should pursue happiness. And when you have people in office that, I mean, like Senator Cotton in there, like we will stop nothing. Well, no shit, you're not going to stop nothing. You've shown us that for the last however many years you've been in the Senate. We have a lot of weak leaders right now. What you said, Peter, is right. What the movements on both sides lack is leadership. And I'm, for one, very happy that you and Jen are part of the leadership and recognized by that the reason Charlie pulled you into that to know is that the voice might be small right now, but it's growing. But demonstrated leadership by integrity, and that you're not sold out, that you and Jen aren't sold out, is what America needs right now. Leadership.